Hello guys, so in this video I want to show you the different calf variations, different ways in which you can position your feet on the calf machines so that you target the different parts of the calf muscles. So basically our calf muscles, we have the upper part of the calves, which is known as the gastrocnemius, and the lower part of the calves, which are known as the soleus. So normally the seated calf raises target the lower part of the calf muscles, and the standing machine or the standing calf raise targets the upper part of the calf muscles or the gastrocnemius. And also based on the positioning of your feet, if you position your toes facing outwards on the either of the machines, you're targeting the inner part of your calf muscles. When you position them in a straight manner, you're basically targeting the whole of your calf muscles. And when you position them with your toes facing inwards, then it means that you're targeting the outward muscles of your calf. So straight, let's get into that and see how we can position our feet on the calf raise machine so that we target different muscles for bigger and more muscle-in calves. So as you can see in this first video, the leg position is actually just straightforward. Now I'm gonna make a little bit of a suggestion that whichever way you position your feet on the calf machine, it really doesn't interfere with the technique or the target muscle that you're looking at when it comes to your calves. So you can either do it with your toes facing outwards or your toes facing straight, as you're gonna see there. And you can also do it with your toes facing inwards. So really it's always said when you keep your feet or your toes facing inwards, you're targeting the outward muscles, but really the feeling is usually more or less the same. And also it's scientifically shown that actually the leg positioning really doesn't change or determine what kind of muscles you target. So for this one, you can see the feet placement is just facing inside, and always try and do a hold. You can lift up and hold maybe for 2 seconds before you can move back down. And also something you really want to check on is the amount of weight that you are putting on your shoulders if you're doing the standing leg press. So for a beginner, I'd suggest you start with probably a free weight, or you don't do any weight at all. And for persons who intermediate or advanced training, you can usually use the weight that you feel is comfortable with you, or you're comfortable lifting without struggling. So in this one, we're just gonna do seated calf raises. And as I said earlier, you do realize that the seated leg raise targets the lower calf muscles, the soleus, as opposed to the standing calf raises. So if you look cleanly into that video, you can see that the lower part of that calf is really stretching and getting a good stretch out of it. So also in this one, we're just gonna use different leg positions, and we're gonna do the outside, the straight, and the inward toe movement. So as you can see there, we are keeping I'm keeping my toes, facing outwards, and so you just wanna squeeze it up there. It doesn't matter really what position or which direction your toes are facing. What you need to keep is a balance so that you don't cheat a lot. Next in that, we're gonna look at the leg press, and as you can see in that video, also we are going to show the various positions in which you can position your feet on the leg press. So the leg press machine actually is a quads exercise. It's normally used based on where you place your feet on this one now. It will either target your quads or your hamstring, and also some parts of your glutes. And not forgetting, of course, you're also working a bit of your calf muscles on the leg press. So in this one, you can also place your feet just the way we did in the calf raises. You can either face them inside or out. You can keep the toes facing outward.
and you can also keep them straight. Normally, when you want to target your quads, it's appropriate that you keep your legs a little bit wide apart, not shoulder length and not really to the edge of the plate where you're pressing or you're placing your feet on. But I think in a few minutes time or a few seconds you just gonna see at least what I'm talking about. So that's the position that I'm talking about. If you look at that, now that position really targets your quads, and you're able to focus on those quad muscles, and you have to keep the movement real nice and slow. You don't have to pump it like you're doing some cardio. And with that, you're able to build your quads and get really those muscles building up. And you can do the number of reps. You can usually do probably 10 to 12 reps of maybe 4 sets, depending on your energy. But the range of between 10 to 12 reps of 4 sets of this is supposed to be able to complete the technique for a session. So you want to also focus on the movement, as I said, keep it slow, and mostly use the weights that you're really comfortable with. You can always add weights if you're an advanced, or if you feel like the weight that is up there is too light for you. You can usually just get off, pick another plate, add on top of that, and that gives you the amount of pressure that you need to put on top of that muscle when you're training it. So you can do up to, there's no limit to actually the weight that you can do on a leg press, as long as you're comfortable with it and you feel like it's something that you can handle. Don't do something to impress people, or to because you feel whatever reasons people add a lot of weight, but just put some weight that you're really very, very, very comfortable with on the leg press machine.